Alright everyone, I could talk all day about Trump not knowing things about guns or violent video games, but here's something that I actually really like, and I didn't even recognize part of this story until yesterday when I was reading about it. Kristian Saucier has been pardoned by Donald Trump. You'll remember, he's the one who tried to use the same defense Clinton used. You know, the FBI exonerates Clinton. She exposes classified info. She stores it improperly. On a massive scale. We're talking thousands of pieces of classified info. Sends and receives it to people who were using aliases, including Obama himself at the time, on a private email server. And the FBI said that's blatantly, it is unlawful. It's also unethical, and she should have known better. But she didn't mean to do anything wrong. She meant well. You know, she didn't realize, or she's just ignorant. She didn't realize what she was doing was significantly unlawful, and that on all of these individual counts we could throw her in jail for 1,000,000 years. She didn't realize, she didn't mean to do any harm, so we're not going to prosecute her. We're not going to recommend prosecuting because, no prosecutor would be able to prove malice. Now, malice doesn't actually matter, and this is the case with Saucier. Malice, he tried to use that same defense. He came forth in appeals. And he says, well, I didn't, of course I accidentally took classified photos of the inside of a nuclear submarine, but I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to store this or anything. There was no malice. So I'm using this. The FBI has created a legal precedent not to prosecute people. So I'm going with that defense. I'm going with the Clinton defense. And the court said, no. Because you're not Hillary Clinton. You're not a multi-millionaire with lots of political connections. You're a little person, so you don't get the same fucking protection, Saucier. And so my fellow Vermonter, which is what he is, from Arlington, actually. It's not from particularly far from here. It's from this state, has been pardoned by Donald Trump. Good. Absolutely. And Trump should come out and make it clear that like Edward Snowden should be pardoned. Oh, yeah, he didn't mean to do anything wrong. And he didn't, by the way. Ever at the time when he was releasing info, everyone said, well, he's obviously a Chinese espionage agent because he went to China. He went to a country without an extradition treaty, which means he must be an espionage agent. He's giving them info. As though he's not giving it to the whole world by making it public. No, he's trying to inform people. But he did nothing wrong. No, government transparency, he's a whistleblower. He's not a spy or anything. I would pardon him, too. That might be a little bit too tricky for maybe in the twilight of his first or second term, Trump might do that. And get some brownie points from the youth, by the way, in so doing. And then people will call him a Russian even more. Oh, it'd be so funny. Again, the left will be forced to adopt a pro-surveillance, pro-state spying, pro-authoritarian bent yet again on the Snowden issue if Trump does that. He can force them into a corner and make them even less cool than they already are. As far as the submarine case, though, the Clinton defense would make even more sense. He took a few pictures of things inside of a submarine. I'm failing to see how that's nearly as bad. How is it that indefensible? How is that like espionage or treason or some crazy shit? How is that particularly bad when Hillary Clinton is storing and receiving, thousands of bits of classified intel that actually could jeopardize things? Now, actually leaving it vulnerable, too. It's not like, a photo in your wallet. It's sitting on a largely unsecured, easily hacked server somewhere that, does email correspondence at any given time, could be compromised by apparently literally anybody. Yes, and then she goes and bleach bits it all. Yeah, there's no wrongdoing. Now, standard procedure to use these erasing programs, civilian erasing programs, by the way, not even one of those really cool ones the FBI probably has. Standard, yeah, they do it all the time with the State Department, when Clinton was involved. So he's been pardoned, and I strongly support Trump in doing this. I think this is a very good thing. It's like at the end, when Trump commuted Manning, not pardoned, and so there's still a felony involved, but commuted the sentence, said, well, it was an excessive sentence for what was done. Manning actually took large amounts of classified material and fronted them and released them. Saucier, meanwhile, gets fucked, despite the fact that he didn't apparently mean to do anything wrong, took a few pictures. Okay, yeah, we understand, it's high-grade nuclear technology. Okay, really, it's a breach of protocol, okay. But come on, is it really as bad as these other people? And there are people who probably say, well, Trump loves people who conduct, you must be a spy or something, he's working for the Russians. Can't wait to see people make that sort of stupid argument, because the left has become stupid on this issue. They don't even realize it, I think. I don't even know that a lot of people, Democrats in the partisan sense, or liberal in the ideological sense, do they even realize that they've become pro-surveillance? That they've become pro-Big Brother, pro-statism, essentially? I don't think they do, because a decade ago they weren't. A decade ago it was like, Occupy, fucking, don't have mass surveillance, don't have more wars, don't give banks money, don't suck down corporate donations, because that's what the Republicans do. Now it's flipped. Now it's the Democrats that do all these things, and they don't even realize it. Other than the Union Democrats, they only voted for Trump because of jobs, because of taxes, a populist message about immigration. And apparently, Saucier was really happy about this. Yeah, I think I'd be happy. It's like, oh yeah, Obama's letting me languish in a fucking cell for taking a couple of Polaroids, and Donald Trump's like, yeah, okay, you're fine. I'm pardoning you. You didn't do anything wrong. By the way, this could be a symbol of things to come on the Clinton end, because literally, you couldn't pick a case that has been spoken of more in terms of literally association with Clinton on that kind of defense with regards to the use and storage of classified information. And so it might be a dog whistle to some of his fans, hey, I haven't forgotten about the possibility of draining the swamp through legal means. Because remember, he is using the DOJ right now to look into things that are going on. It would be very funny indeed if Trump commanded that the same cell that this kid was held in would be the cell that Hillary would be held in pending her trial. During the little investigation, she gets to wear the same orange fatigues as well, same prison jumpsuit. Now, that'd be a funny one. No, I think it's good. Largely, a lot of people that are in prison, in cells in this country, shouldn't be there. They've been given excessive sentencing, or they're there for something where there was absolutely no malice, nobody was harmed. Like, you can't demonstrate that anyone was harmed by these pictures being taken. There was no harm done, there was no malice. Who fucking cares at that point? There was no attempt at espionage or anything, as the government's not even making, I think, that claim. Who cares? So my fellow Vermonter gets to come back to Vermont and not be held in a dank cell, a dungeon somewhere, because Obama decided to use it as a political ploy. Which is basically what happened. Oh, and we need to be tough on these people, says Obama, because, people, they give me a reputation for being sort of weak-wristed and a socialist and hating America, so I'm going to crack down on this dude who took these fucking pictures. It's basically what it was. It's like when Hillary Clinton was talking about bombing Iran and sounded a lot like John McCain did in 2008. Why do you think the reason was for that? It's not because of any part of a broader foreign strategy. It's really because she wants to say, oh, people can vote for me, and don't worry, I can be just as warmongering and bloodthirsty as John McCain and as all these, the boys club. I can be just as butcherous as them, probably more. I'm going to bomb everybody out of existence, so vote for me. Right-wingers can vote for me because, I make vaguely racially tinted remarks about hot sauce, and so it's a dog whistle to the same people I'm calling deplorable, really. Now, meanwhile, I'm going to say my opponent is a bigot. It's what the Democrats have been degenerated into doing lately in their campaigns. Trust me, read the 13 Keys to the White House by Lichtman. If the DPRK thing goes through, Trump has 6 of those keys already, with 2 being virtually assured that he gets in the future over the coming years. He'll win in 2020. He'll almost certainly be reelected. He's got a 90% chance at this point. I said 75. That was before the DPRK thing. Because there's a chance that it is amiable and that he at least gets a photo op with... It doesn't need to be anything major. He doesn't need to achieve denuclearization. He simply needs to ease tensions and swing around and be willing to meet with Kim, especially if he goes to Pyongyang and shakes his hand. Can you fucking imagine? Yeah, Trump would get reelected at that point. It'd be basically a shoo-in. By the way, I heard Joe Biden might run in 2020. Assuming that he hasn't stroked out or something by then. How old is he? Isn't he like in his mid-70s or something? He's like Bernie Sanders' age, I think. He's old. I think he's a couple years older than Trump. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, Joe. I think that all those pictures and video clips with you and females of apparently every part of the spectrum of age from cradle to grave, basically, I think those might be a little inconvenient. I think that the fact that you put your foot in your mouth all the time might be inconvenient. I think the fact that all of a sudden people can attack Obama again and not look racist or bigoted might be inconvenient. I think the fact that Trump is causing the economy to surge might be inconvenient. I don't think it's going to happen. The neoliberal era has ended. It's not going to work, Joe. Sorry. Nor will Kamala Harris or Oprah be your next president. No, the Democrats have a couple of aces up their sleeve. The problem is I think they need a few more than a few. I don't think they're playing with a full deck. Meanwhile, Trump is sitting there with a royal flush, and they think that their pair of threes is going to do something. That's about all. Peace out.